Black Myth Wukong, which is released today, 20th of August, is a hotly anticipated RPG game developed by Chinese studio Game Science, which aims to challenge the traditional narrative style often seen in games inspired by Eastern folklore. This title takes inspiration from one of China's most famous legends, Journey to the West, or CUT, which tells the story of a monk named Tang San who embarks on a journey to India to retrieve sacred Buddhist texts, and alongside him travels Sun Wukong, better known as the Monkey King, whose actions often lead to chaos and destruction but ultimately helps the group achieve their goals. I tell you why all Chinese readers and as kids when we grow up, why we love Monkey God, okay? Because there is a Sun Wukong hidden somewhere in each and every one of us. We all believe we have that immortality potential that will come out as a feral beast at some point of time to shake up the establishment and flip the middle finger to authority, right? So that's why we all love Sun Wukong. It goes without saying that I am actually personally really looking forward to this game, and I must confess that I'm going into this game blind. I have no idea where the story is going, where is the starting point, what is actually going to be happening in the game. Are we going to be playing as Wukong? Or are we going to be playing as one of his descendants? If we are playing as the monkey god himself, would it pose as a challenge because he's already quite OP, he's godlike, so how do we have that leveling up experience, right? So anyway, this is the game. Starting off, very promising animation. Wukong rushing straight into battle on his Jing Douyun, the Nimbus Cloud. It looks as if he is squaring up against the Tianbing Tianjiang, the heavenly celestial troops, right? This is not the first time the monkey god has a beef and a bone to pick with authority, with the heavenly troops. Prior to this, in fact, before Journey to the West, there was some miscomm, and then he decided to tear the heavenly troops a new asshole and he fought a battle with them. Eventually, he was subdued by Buddha, trapped under the mountain for 500 years before he was rescued by Tang San, and hence began the journey to the West, right? So in this case, we are seeing a face-off between him and the troops again. The 四大天王 are there, the 4 giants. They are quite useless, but they look quite impressive here. So at which point of the story is this at? Is this before Journey to the West, or is this after? We do not know. Yep, let's carry on watching. And then, surprise, surprise, we see Langsen appearing, right? This Langsen, or also known as Yang Jian, is a protagonist himself in another famous Chinese classic called The Investiture of the Gods, or Feng Shen Yan Yi. When it comes to Journey to the West, however, he's a little bit of a smart aleck pain in the ass. Like, try to imagine if he's that goody two-shoe head prefect in the school that the teacher liked and whom nobody likes. Yeah, he's that guy in Journey to the West. So he's the only character who always go toe-to-toe with the monkey god. He's just as formidable, and usually when they go one off, the result is decided by margins, right? There's usually some dirty refereeing involved or some unforeseen external thing that happened that resulted in one winning the other. Okay, pretty cool battle. I like the scene, I like the animation, it looks very fluid. I have no idea what I'm doing. Basically, I'm just button mashing. I've not played any of the Dark Souls games, I've not played Elden Ring. I was told this is very similar in the genre, where it's a third-person sword and sorcery kind of thing, right? It reminds me a lot of God of War and Devil May Cry. Okay, this is a useful skill to have where Wukong starts to create many projections of himself. In a lot of Chinese comic, movies and literature, this is one of his more popular sorcery skills, where he plucks a few fur from himself and each fur will transform into a doppelganger. And so he can basically create a whole army of himself, and that's pretty cool when you can see a whole battalion of monkey gods attacking the heavenly troops, right? The heavenly troops don't play fair, so now it's XV1 kind of situation. You know, we always knew this was going to happen. It's always happened in the movies, it happened in the comics, and now it's in the games. And I'm very surprised in this case that Wukong's kryptonite is actually still in play. Alright, a little bit of background on this. This tiara on his head is called the Jinggu Zhou. So essentially, in order to subdue the Monkey King, a magical tiara is placed on his head so that every time he plays punk and stop being a team player, then Tang San will just do his chanting and the tiara will tighten and it will force the monkey to behave. So I'm very surprised in this case that the tiara is still on him, because it seemed like at this point of time, this story happens after they return from the journey to the west. And when they successfully returned with the scriptures, the tiara was removed and all the members who have journeyed to the west have attained Buddhahood. Interesting start. So basically he lost the battle and he goes back to ground zero and he transforms back into the stone. Before he was born, Wukong was actually a stone monkey before he became a celestial being. So it makes sense that after his defeat, where he's close to the end of his mortality, he goes back to become what he was prior to that. And so you don't play as Wukong, you play as one of his descendants, where part of your mission could be to resurrect Wukong, to resurrect your ancestor, or to start to collect relics to be able to gain the same level of power as he does. I think this is definitely a good start to the story. It is a slight twist from the original lore itself, and this gives you space and room for improvement to level up, increase your power. And also Wukong is kind of in the background, right? Will he appear in the future or will he not? This leaves you wanting more. I'm loving this story and looking forward to going on to the first chapter of the gameplay. Color me impressed. So leave in your comments, what do you think? Do you like what you have seen so far? Have you bought the game and have you started on it already? It's a little pity about all the controversies that have plagued this game before it launched, mainly from the Western media that tries to paint it in a bad light. But to me, I think this game would truly embrace diversity and inclusivity if a famous Chinese mythological character gets loved by people all over the world from different cultures and different races. That, to me, is inclusivity. Okay, leave in your comments what you think about the game. I see you in the next video. Goodbye.